All right, welcome, kings and queens. It is a Friday night, honey. And I know you could be doing a lot of things, but you chose to share your time with me. So I just want to thank you for that. We have already over 250 of you in the building, and this is going to be a really, really open and honest, transparent conversation. I don't believe in wasting people's time. We came to talk. We came to talk, and unfortunately, I must say, Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. But before I get started, okay, I want to make sure that my audio is coming through loud and clear. For those of you that rock with me, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm looking for. If you could just give me the green light, I will jump right in. All right, Inez Martin, I appreciate it. Um, wow, Houston, we have a problem. So, you all, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to give you just a few seconds to come on in. The doors of the palace are open, honey. The gates are open. And what I'll do is I'll do a couple of shout outs. I'm just going to quickly go through the list. And then I want you, if you haven't already, honey, I want you to pour yourself a drink because you might need a stiff one on this. You just may need a stiff one on this. Shay P says, woo, chow. Let me sit down and pause Bell Collective. You might want to. You may want to. Bonita, I see you. Katina Noel, Pacino Rules is in the building. I see you. Christina Lambert. Hey, you came back. I appreciate you spending the block with us here in the palace. Boot Fredo, I see you. Lizzie Willer, Bridget Owen, Sharna Mosley, Shay P. The review hour, I see you in the building. Shout out to any other content creators that are in the chat, or even if you're in the bushes, welcome. I know that's right. Kevin Moore says go ahead and hit that like button and dust your feet off at the palace gates. We have Mitzi. Yes, it's Tay, Teresa West, Butter, Gloria Strickland, Mama V, Nyla Harris, Honey Green, Nisha, Monique Ayers. I see you, Tiffany Gilliam. Let me go all the way to the top. I am not going to be able to say hello to everybody. Pink Queen, I see you. Hello. Journey to Jasmine, D. Herford. Janet Jenkins is in the building. Danella Gray, Brenda Wallace. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for rocking with us. But listen, we got a super chat coming in hot and heavy, and it's one, but baby, we saw
It's time to sip that coffee. Get your
one, wrong one. Give me 1 second.
All right, Palace. The Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag.
That's a lot of money.
All right. Tanya Singleton has got the night started off right with the first super chat. We thank you, honey. Tanya, I'm not sure if you knew that you could actually write something on that super chat. I see it pinned to the top, honey. We celebrate one like it's 1 million over here. So we appreciate you, Tanya. And with that being said, I'm going to ask you all to pull up a seat, sit back and relax because Houston, we have a problem. And what we're going to talk about is what really happened on that cash trip in Houston. What really happened on that trip in Houston. Ain't no sense in dragging it out. If we talk about it today, guess what? It is what it is. If we go ahead, everybody say, you know what? Let's just put all this drama behind us. Let's not do this. Let's not drag. Okay. All right. Let's put it behind us. After today, we should be able to put all of this behind us because it's going to be out in the open. I'm calling names, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about what really went down on the cash trip in Houston. Now, I've sat back and I've watched this play out like a tennis match, like many of you. And I've watched it go to the left, to the right. I've watched it go back and forth, and I ain't said nothing. I've held my peace for the most part, and I've sat on information that I've been privy to. Now, every now and then when I do my reviews, I do try to throw out hints to you all. Well, maybe it ain't hints. Sometimes I'm too damn direct, to be honest. But y'all had a real strong emotional reaction to me giving y'all some hints and proclivities of what was coming down the pipeline. And that's why I say sometimes you need to get out your feelings and get in your head and think principle and say, why is she saying this? Why all of a sudden are you focusing on this person? Mama V says she caught it. Did you catch it? Did you really, Mama V? Because I was trying to let y'all know. And sometimes y'all get real emotional about stuff that you shouldn't be emotional about. It's just wise to take your emotion out and just sit back and start paying attention to things that are right in front of you. So I've sat back like most of you and I've watched it play out. I remember a therapist once said, "You are only as sick as the secrets that you keep." So let's talk about it. Ain't no more secrets. Ain't nobody holding nothing else over nobody's head. Okay. If we talk about it, don't nobody have power. We equal the playing field, we level the playing field. Because when people, um, I just want to put it out in the open, okay? Because when people hoard information, they somewhat have an advantage over you because you're waiting and you're hanging on and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. But we're going to clear the air tonight. And as a matter of fact, we ain't got no choice but to clear the air because we got to get this thing back on track. Okay. We got to get it back on track. And I'm not afraid to do it. But I gave you some shout outs. I appreciate those of you that are um, in the chat. Uppity, I see you. Tamika, Journey to Jasmine, Betty McWilliams, Miss Wynn. I appreciate those of you that are pulled up. Content creators, I said all of that. I'm trying to soften the blow. Many weeks ago, y'all got a glass of wine? Y'all got a little cocktail in y'all's hand? All right. So a few weeks ago, I attempted, like I said before, to give you all a warning about a particular cast member, and you got in an uproar behind it because you sometimes you get very emotionally attached to things, and you didn't want me covering her except the way you wanted me to cover her. Some of y'all said I was being too hard. Some of y'all accused me of taking up issue with her. Okay, I did, and I do. I did take up issue with her, and I do take up issue with her because, in my opinion, she struck a match, she lit a fire, she set the place ablaze, and she walked away from it. And she's been a puppet master, in my opinion, ever since. Hey, I'm a pause on that. I'm a pause on that. I told y'all, fix a drink, fix a drink. She set shit ablaze, and she walked away from it. And ever since, I'm gonna say August, September, October, 5 months, shit has been set ablaze. Go back and count. It has been crazy in these YouTube streets, and I ain't said nothing. All right. I said I was going to put names on it. When it comes to love and marriage, Huntsville, Kiki, I'm talking about you. See, they don't know, but I do. Kiki, I am talking about you. What we're going to do is we're going to get it all out so that nobody has any secrets per se to hang over our heads, their cousins' heads, the other cast members' heads, any other bloggers' heads. I'm going to put it all out there. I'm going to drop the link when I'm done, and I will allow you all to come up, share your thoughts, speak your piece, or even push back. Okay? It's okay to disagree, but we got to clear the air first. Now, do y'all need 30 seconds? Do y'all need 30 seconds to get your mind right? Because I can give you 30 seconds if you need it. I can give you 30 seconds if you need it. I think I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds. I think I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds. Oh, they said no. They said no. All right. Well, let's continue. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put it out there. And then we're gonna pause. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat. And then I'm gonna let y'all come up. All right. Let me ask you something. When the cast went to Houston, were any of you aware that Kiki was on that trip? Yes or no? When they went to Houston, did any of you have inside knowledge or inside scoop that Kiki Jabbar was on that trip? Were you privy to that information? Because I wasn't at first, but maybe y'all knew something I didn't. I'm not talking about after information was leaked. I'm talking about when the cast went on and you started seeing Instagram posts. Did you ever consider Kiki being on that trip? Did you ever think about Kiki? Or were you just in the moment and say, oh, that's cute. Look at them cowboy hats. Oh, child, look at Martell. Oh, look at Kiki. Were you in the moment like I was in the moment? I'm seeing yeses and I'm seeing some nos. Well, I wasn't privy, nor did I ever think about her being on that trip. Okay. Not at first. I'm just in the moment watching it on social media. And when I did learn that she was on that trip, in the midst of the trip, I was shocked because there was some negativity attached to it. Now, I've been sitting on this for 5, 6 months. Okay. I've been letting y'all duke it out. And I ain't said one word. And a lot of y'all try to give me some shit about leave Kiki alone. You got problems with. Listen, baby, if I cover something, I'm covering it for a reason. Okay. Now, when I was made aware that Kiki was on this trip, in my opinion, there was negativity attached to it. It was not a positive announcement. It wasn't. It was not a positive announcement. As a matter of fact, I was quite taken back. Okay. Now, before I get into the thick of things, let me point out something or even ask you all a question. Were you under the impression before all of this drama started that Kiki and Melody were friends? I was. Yes or no? Drop it in the chat. Before all of this drama started about 5, 6 months ago, did y'all think that Melody and Kiki were friends? Yeah, absolutely, right? Yeah, I'm seeing yeses. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on from there. Then why hasn't Kiki cleared the air or spoken out about this alleged offense that Melody has done to her? Follow me very closely. Follow me very, very closely. If Kiki and Melody are friends, then how come Kiki has not come to the forefront to speak in regards to this offense that Melody committed against her? Where is Kiki? She been stone cold quiet. Have y'all not peeped that? Have y'all not been watching this shit play out? Wouldn't you, if that was your friend, wouldn't you say something if somebody got it wrong? Right? And if you didn't want your friend slandered, wouldn't you say, hold on, y'all, let me clear this up. Okay. If somebody got it wrong or misunderstood or misconstrued anything about the way you felt, wouldn't you go ahead and clear that up as a grown ass woman or a grown ass man? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for y'all just to react in the chat. Wouldn't you say something in favor of your friend who brought you onto a show that is being accused of doing something so horrible to you that we just got to wait to see it? We got to wait a couple of weeks for us to see it. And if production doesn't air it, then you're going to air it or whoever's going to air it, right? Let's break it down. I'm not sure of where Kiki works outside the show because they don't show it on the show. They never film her at her place of business. So I'm inclined to believe that love and marriage for her, maybe I could be wrong. I'm inclined to believe because they don't show you working like they do the other cast members or just some form of you being outside of the show having something going on. I'm under the impression that love and marriage for Kiki, not her husband. I'm not talking about her husband or her household. I'm saying I'm under the impression that may be her only source of income. Follow me very closely. Okay. Thank you, Latoya, for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It just came through. Now, if my friend put me on so that I could get a coin, oh, wow. Melody Cherie said, I saw Houston. I had to come over. We appreciate you dropping in, Queen. Welcome. Now, if my friend put me on and gave me a little hustle where I can pull in a coin, y'all not finna fuck with my coin. Y'all not finna mess with me and my friend. I'm coming out. I'm gonna be like, hold up, y'all. Y'all better back up off my friend. My friend didn't do nothing to me. I'm not sure where Anthony gets that information. We're calling names tonight, and it's nothing personal. We just got to call names. We can't talk in riddles. We grown ass people. So that's what I was waiting for, right? Kiki ain't did none of that. But I do know Melody brought her on that show. Okay. And she has to be receiving some type of coin because I know they all get paid unless you're working for free. Now, if you're working for free, that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. Uh, Kiki. Now, she ain't been nowhere to be found. Your friend put you on. She helped you get a coin. All of us under are on YouTube up. We're under the belief that Melody has done something real crazy to you, and we're waiting for it to come out. And then I sat back and I started pulling my receipts, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this conversation. Oh, I forgot about this phone call. And I said, you know what? I'm always talking about being fair. I'm always talking about standing on what's right. And I ain't said nothing. I'm sitting here letting this shit play out. I ain't came out to clear the air. I ain't no better than nobody else if I ain't gonna say nothing. The cast filmed this summer. I think it was July. They filmed in July. And like you all watched it on the Instagram feeds, I watched it. I watched people share their photos. I'm looking like you are. And I'm like, okay, this is good. Finally, they doing something positive. Not once in my mind did I ever think about Kiki. Ever. Ever. So they were in Houston. I don't know how long they were in Houston, but I know on a Sunday, let me back up. Let me say something. Everything I'm sharing, it ain't nothing personal for me, but we finna clear the air. We finna put all this shit to rest. You're only as sick as your secrets. And everybody, this ain't exposing nobody, but we finna clear the air. We finna force some hands tonight. We finna force some hands tonight. And we gonna see if people gonna stand on business. Because there's a lot of players involved in this, okay? There's a lot of players involved in this, from mamas to everybody. All right. So the Sunday they were in Houston, I got a phone call. I didn't know shit. Just like y'all, I'm a viewer. I got a phone call. Ain't none of this personal. I got a phone call from Anthony on that Sunday through Instagram. Anthony don't have my number. I don't have his. We ain't never had no problems. Now, there are certain things Anthony has done that I do not agree with it. Follow me very closely. I got a phone call from Anthony. He was very upset. He was extremely upset about the Houston trip. Thank you, Trina Pitts, for the Cash App, Queen. Just came through. I appreciate it. And I was completely taken aback. I didn't know why he was upset. He was explaining to me that Kiki was in Houston and some things had happened. And I'm like, whoa, no, Kiki's not in Houston. And he said, yes, she is. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm watching the Instagram shit. I actually, to be honest with you, I forgot about Kiki. In my head, Kiki is not a main cast member. So when I see cast members doing things, I haven't put Kiki on the map yet as a regular cast member. I didn't even think about her being in Houston. It never even crossed my mind she was supposed to be there, but he was really upset. And from what he shared with me, I got the impression that Kiki has shared with him some things that had happened to her in Houston. Anthony and I talked about some things. He put some things in front of me. I said, no, that's not the case. He said, I think that is the case. I said, I tell you what, let me go take a look. I'll get back with you and I'll give you my opinion. I gave him my opinion. Okay. And we haven't talked since. Things changed, in my opinion, from that moment on towards Anthony, his energy towards Melody. And this is why I'm talking about it. No, hold on. Before y'all jump to judgment, this is why I'm talking about it. In that moment, I started looking at Kiki sideways. And I said, I be damned. This girl is smarter, sharper, stronger than what we would have ever have thought. Damn. I started looking at Kiki sideways. And Anthony, I started looking at you sideways. And I'm going to tell you why. I expected you to be sharper than that. Now, in my opinion, Kiki laid a trap. She set the scene. She set the stage. 6 months from now, all hell has broken loose on YouTube. She ain't nowhere to be found. She ain't spoke up for Melody. She ain't spoke up for Anthony. She ain't cleared the air about nobody. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sitting back and I'm watching this. And I knew Kiki was in Houston that Sunday. I know did nobody else call, but you felt some kind of way about Melody not doing what you wanted her to do. So you tried to overthrow her by way of a blogger. Now, is Anthony your friend or is he a blogger to you, Kiki? Because Melody's your friend. And the shit that you did to her, I wouldn't want you as my friend. What you did to her, I would not want you as my friend. You got him worked up. You got him in his feelings about some shit that you was feeling. And you never came back to clear the air. And you never came back to speak out on the behalf of either one of them. Period, point blank. And I'm sitting here watching this shit. Now, let me be very clear. I am a Melometer. I support Melody. Y'all been knowing that. Y'all saw that when I did my thing. What she did is she pumped. Okay, so let's talk about it. What she did is she shared with him, allegedly, in my opinion, that let me just give y'all what happened. Kiki was not. So when everybody talking about she was voted off what? She's still on the show. She wouldn't voted off the show. She wouldn't voted off the show. The cast members did not want her to stay in the same house. The hell, they probably didn't know she was coming. Like I didn't know she was coming. So I'm pretty sure people had already had rooms. Now, apparently when she got there, they had already had their rooms. I don't think they knew she was coming. I didn't know she was coming. You know how production do. They like to wham bam. Surprise. Guess who's coming to dinner? Well, Tisha, you know Tisha gonna feel some kind of way. You don't even stay with her in real life. So why would Tisha, Marceau, and Kimmy and Maurice want you in the same house as them? Melody, Stormy, Martell, and Courtney voted for Kiki to be able to stay in the home. Her family voted against her. Let's pause there. What the hell do you want Melody to do if your own family don't want you in the house? They just didn't want you to stay in the same house because tensions were high between you and Letitia. They didn't kick you off the trip. You participated in activities. You were still there. But all of a sudden, the next day, something happened. On that Sunday, the final day of the trip, and you decided you didn't like the fact that Melody didn't give you more energy. She brought you on the show, sis. She voted for you, sis. Now, this is everything you shared that got out behind the scenes, that got out. What else do you want from the lady? But that wasn't good enough. So what you gonna do is you wanted to create a smear campaign, in my opinion, against this woman because she ain't moving the way you want her to move. I'm gonna pause. What do you want her to do? You're there, you're participating, you just in a different location. So now you upset. I heard since you released everything, Kiki, Melody Cherie says, because one thing about me, I'll fly in witnesses if need be. Nobody, nobody's scared of nobody's scared of no evil nor demons nor their threats. So Kiki done made a few calls. Now I don't know, Anthony. I don't know if Kiki kind of played off your feelings or your emotions and didn't give you all the truth or whatever. But she manipulated an entire situation. And you try to take Melody down, Kiki. Allegedly, let me say allegedly, by way of the blogs, by way of social media. And you created this fucking falsity that you never cleaned up. She didn't vote against you. She didn't speak ill of you. She didn't let them clown you. She didn't let them embarrass you. But you wanted her to do more. And because she didn't do whatever it is that you thought she should have done, you went behind that lady back and you turned on her. And you created an exaggerated emotional story of what you felt happened. Now, if Melody is your friend, how come you didn't call your friend and say, girl, what the hell was that? How come you didn't call your friend to say, uh-uh, sis, you moving funny. How come you went straight to the blogs? Pause. Not only did you go straight to the blogs, you and your mother allegedly were shopping around the story to the blogs. I'm going to pause, allegedly. Now, I've turned down information of seeing the exchanges of you and your mom because I don't want to get that deep. I don't want to be showing people's text messages. I ain't want to do none of that. But I was absolutely baffled, Kiki. And that's why I don't fool with Kiki no more. I've seen some things, I've heard some things, and I've been sitting on it. That's outside of the call, right? Where Anthony was upset. That's outside of that. I'm talking about things that I've seen with my own eyes, exchanges. And you and your mom was playing different bloggers against each other. Y'all was over here with these bloggers. Y'all had about 3 or 4 different group of bloggers trying to turn them against Melody. No, I kid you not. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. And I've been sitting back for 5 or 6 months. I didn't say nothing because I'm like, that's crazy. But it's gotten out of control. So let's do this. We're gonna pause. Because my thing is, now you sitting back at home, Kiki, you watching Melody stand hard in the paint. You watching Anthony stand hard in the paint. And girl, you ain't there to say shit on the behalf of neither one of them. And I don't get down like that. I don't know about y'all. I don't get down like that. I don't get down like that. Now I see why Letitia said, y'all don't know Kiki. Y'all don't know Kiki. Yes, the mom. Mitzi saying the mama, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. From what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now let me say all allegedly, even though I've seen and read things with my eyes, even though I've seen, yes, it is, Janice. Extremely childish. But you know what? Fame is a hell of a drug. Fame is a hell of a drug. How can your mom get involved in something? We grown ass women. I wish my mom would be, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I wish my mother would step off of her throne as a queen, a senior queen, and come down low. I am good at holding, very good. But I said, this has gone too far. And everybody don't know, everybody's kind of like tiptoeing around because don't nobody want, no, get it out in the air. Get it out in the air. Kiki, I'm calling you out. Maybe they can't. I'm calling you out. And not just based on the call that I received, but also everything else, the recordings, everything. You are some kind of wonderful. And I'm gonna put 50% of the blame on Kiki. Now, let me pause because I'm keeping it real cute. I don't like to go down and dirty. I'm keeping it really, really cute. I'm not gonna let her sit in the background and walk away with clean hands as if she's never said or done or passed off information. And I'm keeping it really, really professional. Okay. Because I could say a lot more, but I choose not to. Now, I just dropped the link in the chat for those of you that may have questions. But if I'm coming to you to tell you she's a huge part of this, she's a huge part of this. And I stand on it. And I said what the hell I said. Now, I'm not going to get too detailed, but I just want y'all know. Somebody said Kiki's 75% to blame. And I ain't said nothing on the behalf of nobody. I ain't even came out to say, hey, you guys, on the behalf of the show, at least say something. Can we all bring it together? I like both parts. Y'all got to be careful who you ride for based off of emotion. Check your emotions at the door. If somebody's coming to you telling you some shit about a person that's their friend, if baby a dog that'll bring a bone will carry one. A dog that will bring, don't feel like you getting something because it tastes good and it aligns with how you feel. Pause on that shit. Don't be quick to bring stuff to the internet because when the shit hits the fan, she ain't nowhere to be found. She got a good word to say about you or the person that she sicked you on. I'm a pause. QT, if you can just flash on your camera real quick before I bring you up. I just need to make sure you're a real person. Christine, can you flash on your camera, then flash it off? I just need to see you're real. Hit the camera icon. All right, I see you, Christine. You can turn it off. I'll bring Christine up first. I'm still waiting for QT. I need to know let's see. All right, you can turn it off. QT, I'm going to bring you to the stage first. Um,
Hi, Queen. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. I'm always in your bushes, so um, I enjoy your channel a lot. But I am a little confused with this one. So you're saying I'm not doubting that you saw what you saw, but I do recall Kiki going on a IG live and also being on another content creator's channel, saying that there was a rumor going on that there was something that she and Mel had a falling out, and she said no, that they didn't. She and Mel are cool. Their friendship was tight, and that they didn't have a falling out, and actually they flew on a plane together home, so they didn't have any beef. That the issue was with, I guess, her and her cousin, but not with Mel. So I guess I'm confused. Is that before or after that? I'm trying to just understand
So,
what was.
in my opinion, okay, it's not in my opinion.
Hmm.
Ask Anthony if I'm lying. How about that?
I don't watch him, so I don't even know. I just know
Okay.
Melody's
Okay, that's
live where
fine.
she talked about him.
So, the point
Yeah.
I'm trying to make is Kiki got the rumor started. She made the phone call. She pulled the trigger.
Oh.
She pulled the trigger. She pulled the trigger. We were fine. Everybody was excited finally. And then at the last day of the trip,
Mhm.
that's when I got the call that that something had went down in Houston.
Yeah, I remember
I
I
didn't even know
remember
Kiki was in Houston.
Yeah, I remember there was a rumor that something went down, and I did remember hearing Kiki was in Houston. But I take rumors with a grain of salt until you guys talk about it on the show.
Gotcha.
People can say whatever. But I
Mhm.
did remember hearing that they were all in Houston, and that there was a rumor that something went down in Houston. And then I also heard the rumor, because I don't watch his channel, but I hear other people talk about things, and they said that he had come online and said, if your favorite, and he was alluding to Melody, did something, would you hold her accountable? And I was just like, well, what did she do? And then somewhere, I'm hazy on the timeline, I remember Kiki coming out and saying that there was a rumor going on that she and Mel fell out, and she said, I just want to put out there, Mel and I are cool. Our friendship is good. We came back together, and she spoke very highly of Mel, like Mel has been supportive of her, yada yada. So I just took it as, oh, that must be some BS. Either the Scots were saying, or somebody in their camp, or somebody was putting out, and we'll see it play out on the screen. But she never said anything negative about Mel. So I just took it as,
Not up
okay.
front, not in front of the
And
no.
I get you. I don't know about the
Mhm.
behind the scenes. I'm just saying
Yeah.
what I saw, and what I've heard from other channels,
Yeah.
including your own,
Yeah.
that these things were circulating. But I didn't take it. I took it with a grain of salt, because I was like, people are always saying stuff, and then some people turn out to be true and some people don't. So I was like, okay, we'll see when it plays out. Mel never said anything negative about Kiki and seemed supportive of her. So I was like, okay, then it must be all good.
I mean, who's gonna say, "Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
her. I can't stand her." No, we're good.
Well,
That's
if
isn't
that's
that the
if
right
that's
thing to say?
true, and I, again, what I'm about to say, I'm not disputing you or
No,
questioning
no,
your
we're just
integrity.
talking.
I'm
We're
just
just
saying,
talking.
if that's the
Mhm.
truth, then that's sad, because
It
Mel
is.
was going to bat for her, and at one point, I felt like Kiki was standing 10 toes down that Mel was her friend. Regardless of whatever's going on with Tisha and Mel, she and Mel were tight. So that is kind of sad.
It is very sad. That's why I'm saying something about it. Wouldn't you if somebody did you like that and I was privy to it, wouldn't you want me to say something about it on your behalf, or you want me to sit back and let them say, I like QT. We ain't got no problem. And you ain't had no idea that your friends been making calls behind your back.
Mm.
And that's the
See,
problem. We
and
sit
I
back
hate
and
that.
we let people assassinate each other because it's entertaining.
And I would say this, I've said this on a friend's channel of mine. She's a content creator, and I'll admit, in my past, I have said things, and that's why I tried to make amends you know, going into my 30s and also now in my 40s with people, and especially after the passing of my husband and my grandmother, where I've had conversations with people and I'm just like, I want to make amends if I've ever done anything to hurt you, especially if it was unintentional. Because, when you're young and sometimes, I had circles of friends and I'm thinking, oh, everybody knows this thing, and not knowing that that was told to me, in confidence, and that other people didn't know. But I'm thinking because we're all cool and we're all tight that everybody knows everything. So I've had to look at myself as a friend and make sure that I was not unintentionally doing things to harm my relationships with people. And if I did, take accountability for it and be like, okay, I understand if you don't want to mess with me going forward, but please know that it was never my intention to harm you. If you heard me say X, Y, and Z, and sometimes I know also when you have a circle of friends, if you're upset with one person, you might talk to another person
But
to
being
vent.
upset and lying on somebody is two different things.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying from my own
Yeah.
experience. I've talked to another friend and vented something and said things that I probably would not have said to the person that I was upset with, because I was saying things in anger and venting it out
Yeah.
and getting, someone's advice. But then that has gotten back to the other person. And I was like, I was venting, I was talking. When we did talk, I got all of the anger out, and the other person gave me their perspective, and I was able to look at things objectively and really talk about the issue instead of dealing with things from emotion. I'm sorry that you heard about my emotion and not from
And I'm
me,
following
because
you.
they felt that I was being fake. And I'm not being fake. It's just that I had a lot of emotion, and at the time I knew that we weren't going to have a productive conversation.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes that happens, and I'm just like, but at the same time, I do know that, you if and I'm just saying that if Kiki did something like that, but but it sounds like she did more than that,
The
then it's
point,
like, okay,
listen,
then just
listen, when you
apologize
talk,
for what you did, take ownership of it, and just make amends. But
okay.
if it was more than that, then that's sad, and you got to
Listen,
learn to be
anytime
different.
your private conversation
Yeah.
moves beyond privacy and it hits the blogs, you need to clear that shit up immediately. You
Right.
don't wait a month, you don't wait 2 months, you don't wait 3 months.
Yeah.
You clear it up immediately, and you didn't. You lit a match, you started the fire, and you walked away like Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale, and
I
that's
get what you're
wrong.
saying. I
That's
get what you're
completely
saying now.
wrong. Yeah, that's completely wrong. It's too late now. The fire cannot be contained. You see where we are today? And if she had came out sooner, that shit would have been put to rest. And I'm
But do
not
you
talking.
think that she and Mel may have? And I'm curious. I'm this is conversation. Do you think that she and Mel maybe have straightened things out behind the scenes? I know that Mel was here earlier. I don't
No,
know if she's still
I
here.
don't think so. I
Oh,
don't, based on what I'm seeing in the chat,
wow.
I don't think
I'm
so.
real sad about that because they seemed really tight, and then I was like, finally, somebody that can dispel this whole rumor about how Mel always falling out with people, because she and Kiki hadn't fallen out, and she has other friends that she hasn't fallen out with. No, they're
She
not
fell
on the
out with
show.
Stormy. She fell out with Tiffany. She fell out with Latifah. She fell out with Marcel.
Well,
That's
we
4
saw why
people.
she fell out
It don't
with
matter. She fell
Tiffany.
out.
Yeah, but also I'm
See
one of
how
those
y'all,
people.
but do you see how when you connect with somebody
Yeah,
emotionally? That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. That's okay. We all do it. You see how
yeah,
we say no, but that's okay. Because no, a fallout is a fallout.
yeah.
If we counting, they all have fallen out with somebody.
This is
That's why
sad.
we got to take the emotion out and look at the principle. And we start keeping score. We say, well, shit, she got a few notches on her scorecard. Now we may like her a little bit more because of her story, but she didn't fell out. But look, I gotta go to the next person. QT, you put up
Yeah,
a
no,
hell of an
thank you.
argument. You
Oh
look,
no,
I
I
love
wasn't
it.
arguing for or against anybody. I was
No,
just
no, not
trying to
not an
understand.
argument
Yeah,
like
yeah,
tech.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it was a
yeah, yeah.
great
No,
conversation.
absolutely.
Yeah, great conversation.
But
That's
thank you
what I'm
for
saying.
letting me come up, and I'm gonna drop
Yeah.
down. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming up, Deborah. No, let me go to Christine, y'all. But listen, we got to keep it to 2 minutes because it's a hell of a line back there. Unfortunately, I got to keep it moving so that everybody can get a chance. Let me get Christine real quick, and then Deborah's next.
Thank you,
Christine, welcome to
love.
the stage. Hey,
Thank you.
Christine,
Thank you. I'm going to keep it.
We got to keep it
Yep.
short and sweet. I'm sorry.
Me too. You know that's the only way I do it. I just now I'm side eyeing and I'm wondering if maybe her and Tisha are real cool. And I don't know now because now I'm like, she really, how Wanda and if I really had a problem with somebody like that, like I don't know. I'm really side eyeing Kiki. Long story short, now I'm wondering if her and Tisha really falling out or if they're just collecting that money from the show. But that's all I was thinking. Thank you, Queen.
They've really fallen out. Her and Kiki, her and Tisha. I don't see them like faking that. The passion,
No,
real and raw. I just don't. I think they've really fallen out. But I just, unfortunately, it took a wrong and an ugly turn, and here we are.
thank you, love. Appreciate you, Queen. All
Absolutely. Thank you for
right,
coming up.
thanks.
Christine, I mean, not Christine, I'm sorry. Christine's dropping down. We are going to bring Deborah up next. Remember, you guys, we got to keep it short and sweet. You're more than welcome to come back up. If you think of something else, I just want to make sure we give everybody a chance to come up and share their thoughts.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, Deborah, welcome to the stage.
Hi. Just real quick. First of all, I want to apologize to I want first of all I want to apologize to Melody for all of this stuff. This is ridiculous. I feel like what it seems to me what happened was well, okay. I thought they were voting her off the show. That's what it sounded like. This is about a house not being able to stay in it. This is ridiculous.
Yes.
That's really all I. Why would you want to stay anywhere with people that you don't get along with? To me, like I mean, maybe she was feeling slighted or something. Melody and
Probably.
her team stayed at a nice hotel. If I was her, I would have got myself a hotel and
Me
enjoyed the
too.
city. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe all of this for that. And I gotta say, I was actually on the live when the question came up about Melody. And I said, yeah, I'd hold her accountable. Yeah, I would. Or anybody that, if I thought somebody did something wrong, if I knew they did it, put it that way. Yes, but not just because somebody said something. Yeah, but if I find out something happened, of course I hold them accountable. You know, as a friend, I would do that with any of my friends. But I cannot believe all of this drama because somebody couldn't stay in the house. I'm done. Like I'm done.
Girl, listen.
My God.
I had to. Me too. That's why I sat
Jesus.
on it. That's why I was like, I'm not going to talk about this because
I wish you had come out earlier. Now it's your
I
fault. You
know.
had us
Me
in distress all of
too.
this time. Mel, I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry you had to put up with it. I'll say this last thing. I wish people would come on the show. If somebody gets you on the show, it's your job to have your storyline. Nobody can carry the weight for you. So if you think that every time you have a problem or you feel slighted, you can go run to the person that brought you in, that's not their job to take care of that. You're a big girl. You're a big girl or a big boy. Hold your own weight. Like Mel said, handle your scandals. Do all of that. To stop depending on her to make your storyline, make sure that you're progressing on the show. She's out here doing her thing. You got to find your lane, do your thing. Like the only reason I was kind of upset about Kiki because I didn't want it to be people to hold things against her because of her past or make her feel like she was beneath anybody. That's the concern I had about her. I never thought she was a damsel in distress, though. Never thought that, you know. But yeah, anyway, I'm done. Okay, ladies, I'm gonna drop back down. Thanks for
No
letting me come up.
problem.
All right, bye.
No problem. Okay, Nisha, you're up next. Deborah's dropping down. We are bringing Nisha Johnson to the stage. Welcome, Nisha. Hold
Queen, how
on.
are you?
Hey, Nisha.
I This sounds like the two Kiki and Anthony were in cahoots. To me, it seems that they have built some type of rapport that she was able to go with him with the lies or the embellishment of what happened because she knew he'd run with it because I feel like she already knew how he felt. Because I feel like there
Mm,
were conversations because you wouldn't just take this lie to this particular blogger if you didn't feel like he would run with it and bite on it. Get what I'm saying? Like she couldn't have came to you and just handed that to you and you would have ran with it. She knew his feelings. I don't know if they're I wouldn't say that they're friends, but there is a relationship there, because even with the recordings with her mom, um with that other content creator, like they were both feeding and wanted to get something out of it, and it was going to be negativity towards Mel. But then it also is like, it was also crazy that Stormy just so happened to pop up on that particular interview with Kiki.
Mm.
Like, that was weird. Stormy, who says she never goes to bloggers, never goes on to people's pages, there she was. But it makes me think, and this is my last point, it makes me think when they said that they really didn't want Kiki on the show at first. I think it was Wanda, because Kiki wasn't gonna go with the program. I think now she's trying to go with the program because she
Mhm.
wants her family. She wants to get
Mhm.
back in good graces with her family. And I think that's like a last ditch effort, is kind of like going at Mel, or to spin it at Mel some type of way for her family's sake.
But if you go with the program, leave the emotions at home. You need to come out with a real offense. Just because somebody don't move the way you want them to move and they've been kind to you and you just emotional about some shit that went down. So when you think about production, and I was listening to, I think it was Carlos King. He earlier on when I kind of didn't know that much about him and the way he moved. He's like, I'm not like other producers that will ambush people and then bring
Right.
somebody on a trip and nobody else knows about it. Right. In my opinion, Kiki came down on the trip. Maybe one person had an idea. She didn't know her family would not receive her well, but they did not receive her well. Okay. They did not want her staying in that house. That's fine with me. Shit. I'm like, y'all, the other caller said, I would have got me a room because, baby, I don't like doing all that group stuff anyway. You know what I mean? Sharing bathrooms and all that.
Right. Yeah.
But what did Melody do to you that caused you to pick up a phone allegedly and call a blogger and tell a very emotional story that it made it to a live stream and you never came back and cleared it up? I don't care if she says, oh, me and Melody are friends. You never said, no, Melody didn't do anything to hurt me on Houston. You know what everybody's saying? Watch it play out. Watch it play out. So what did she do? If
You know
that's
what
your
she did, Queen? The
what's
same thing she did to Stormy, which was nothing. And
exactly.
somehow Stormy has this nastiness towards her. Nothing. The same thing she's done to Tisha. Nothing. But she's just giving Tisha some of that nasty energy that Tisha has. She's giving her that back. But she hasn't done anything to these people. But somehow they want to give her the Mariah Huck treatment. I felt like that seasons ago, that they want to do to Mel what they did to Mariah, get her off of her own show.
Amen. Hmm. I thought
But
that a few seasons ago. You remember I did a review where I said, "Hey, listen," because at that point the negativity was just so overwhelming. I think we
yeah,
all saw that. I was like, "They trying to run her up out of here," you know. And I, in my head, I was like, "Melody better step up and start fighting back." You know, damn. You know, we can only push so hard because Melody, in my opinion, was being so passive. Like I'm at home saying, "Say something." Hell no, they brought this man on the show to go after your mom and all. Like I was just sitting back, like, "What the hell?" Right? And I thought all of that, you could still, people had kind of tucked it in a little bit. And then
I
when
think
Kiki
that's
did what she did and I got that call that Sunday, oh, so you working on oh, well damn. I would have never look, you too? Hashtag you too?
I
Damn.
Queen, I think Stormy is somewhere tied in this, because her showing up on that live was just like so. And if you ever see that, which I know nobody probably will, but if you ever go back to that live, if I remember correctly, he was grinning. He knew Stormy was coming, but he tried to play it like he was kind of surprised. But I felt like he knew, because he was kind of grinning like a chessy cat in magic, and then there she was,
We always
Stormy.
know who's coming to our show unless we drop a link in the chat
Okay,
and somebody from the audience pops up.
okay,
Now that part,
okay,
yeah, but most times we know because we need to be able to control the
okay,
narrative because it can get out of hand. You just got anybody popping up on your show. Most times we
okay.
do know as content creators. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And one quick thing, Queen,
Sure.
and I think that's maybe, is that kind of why maybe Stormy is doing a lot of scenes with Kiki. Like, I
Uh,
feel like they're still trying to go at Mel. I still think they ultimately still want to get Mel off of her show, but it's not as, I think Kiki, they're using Kiki. I think they've gotten, I don't know, but I feel like, yeah, Kiki is, that was nasty what she did.
yeah. Talia Davis said, "Listen, this is all hearsay from Anthony." No, it's not. When I bring something to my channel, it ain't nothing hearsay. I keep telling y'all that, and y'all keep arguing with me.
Well, I ain't gonna argue with you, Queen.
Not you. No, it's a comment. Like I listen. When I sit on, listen, I'm not gonna play with y'all like that. I'm not. I filter through stuff. I sit and I always ask myself, do I want to entertain or do I want to make an impact? Sweetheart, if I tell you something that happened, but I have to say allegedly, so we're gonna go with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I gotta be fair now. Like I said, like I'm not gonna let Kiki just sit around and look pretty when you done lit a match. You done lit a match. But let me go, Nisha. Thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you, Queen. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Simone Wealthy, welcome to the stage. Hershey, you're next.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I didn't even see no notification, Queen. I flip up my phone. I'm like, I done, my belly's full. I'm like, I'm drinking some wine. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm going to repeat to you what I think I heard you
Okay,
say.
but hold that thought, Simone. Hold
Okay.
on, because they coming in hot and heavy. I
Okay.
want you to get your thoughts together. I'm gonna go to a super chat, but I want to ask, I want to answer. She says, "So do you have other sources besides Anthony?" Yes, I do. Are y'all not listening? Did I not say I got phone calls, recordings, texts, exchanges? But I'm not going to go that low. I said that. I said that. I don't put everything out. I sit on my stuff. Yes, I do. I do. I do have more sources, which is why I'm kicking myself in the butt for not coming and saying something sooner. Absolutely, I have more sources, but I'm not revealing them. Yes, I hope that helps. I hope that, but I hope that helps. But listen, it's okay that y'all are asking these questions. These are all really good questions. Yes, I do have more sources, several. I fact checked. I said outside of the phone call, I'm looking at these text messages, listening to these audios. I'm like, damn, this is deep. You shopping around a whole story on this lady, all for fame, y'all. A show. Fame? Okay. Simone, go ahead.
Man. Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, the snake, and it's hard for me to say that male's name, and this Kiki were in planned this out together and basically let all this spill out on his channel and ask those questions about if she did something wrong, would you still be with her or support her or whatever the hell he asked. So this was a plot with they both played up together, or you think she played him and she played off of his emotions, ready to run with the story against Mel? Because I'm sorry, I
Okay.
apologize. I didn't hear the beginning of it, so I
So
apologize.
let me take out the word plot. The call I received while the cast was in Houston. Let's go back. I didn't know Kiki was in Houston. Did you know?
No, 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 no.
All right. So let's start there. The call I received, he was very emotional about something that had happened to Kiki while she was in Houston.
Mm,
I'm not going to say everything that we talked about, but it was a hard stance between, no, I don't think this. Yes, no, that's not it. That can't be it. No. You get what I'm saying? Well, let me go back and let me da 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 da.
mhm,
Came back with my final thoughts. And as information starts to flow in, and I'm like, whoa. So, number one, I know based on my damn common sense, if I didn't know you was in Houston and the rest of the fans didn't know you was in Houston and this person knows you're in Houston, there's only one way this person got that information. That's through you.
mhm.
That's let's just we're talking facts. We're talking
Mhm.
level setting. But let's just say allegedly. Okay. Number one. Number two, you're offended and highly. So I didn't even know about the Saturday live. Remember, this is a Sunday. This is July 16th when I got this call.
Okay.
This was July 16th when I got this call. Can't nobody debate me about the information I received. Can't nobody debate me about nothing I got. You get what I'm saying?
Oh
Because
yeah, I
here-
understand.
and I'm not talking to you, Simone. I'm just talking
Mhm.
about people in the chat. One thing about information is once you share it, you can't control who has access to it. So don't share nothing you don't want nobody else to know. Now, had things not gotten so far out of hand and it had not turned so toxic, because see, with nobody else nowhere to be found, when everybody's going back and forth with each other, Kiki, where were you then?
Mhm.
Where were you then? And I'm gonna drop the link, but where were you then? Because you could have put this to rest months ago. You could have put this to rest the day after that live when Anthony said, if Melody did anything, would y'all hold her accountable? You could have shut all of this down. We 5, 6 months into it. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. Give me a second.
Mhm.
So nobody can debate that phone call that I received. Nobody can debate the conversation I had. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So there's only one way that information got out.
Mm.
Now, if I wanted to
Mhm.
be messy, I coulda hopped on live too, but I didn't.
Mm.
It's not about her saying something. She said something too late.
Right, right. Yeah, she's
Said
been
something too
very
late.
quiet, very
She
quiet here
said
recently. I
something
haven't.
2, 3 months later after it
Mm.
had already gotten out. She coulda killed it. She coulda put a nail in the coffin. That's what I'm doing for my friends. I'm standing on business.
Mm.
It ain't taking me
Mm,
2, 3
mm,
months to
mm.
come up and stand for mine. So, do I
Oh,
think it was a plot? I'm not gonna say plot, but I know you made a phone call in my opinion. Ain't nobody pushing me off of that. You made a
right.
phone call, in my opinion. Period, point blank. You did not come and clear it up immediately. Period, point blank. You waited. You waited. Did you get ahead of it? Did you call Melody and say, "Hey, listen, girl, I'm not sure what Anthony talking about, but girl, I don't know what he talking about. If you did something and would they hold you accountable and all of this? I don't know, but I'm finna call Anthony." You didn't do none of that publicly.
Now, do you
Clear
know
what
if
up?
did he
Clear
say
what
that
up?
he
Hold on.
recorded her?
Andrea said, did she clear up immediately when Anthony Lofty's asked y'all if Melody did something, insinuating to Kiki in Houston? We're not going to play games, y'all. Y'all have the information. She didn't clear it up immediately. When somebody takes a rumor, and if it's a rumor, and if it's not true, and if it's not your experience of what happens, you clear that shit up.
Mm.
You clear it up. I don't have to carry a storyline for a show. I'm a real person that operate on integrity. That's what you do in my circle. So do I think it was a plot? I won't go that far to say a plot, but I think it's something that got way and it blew up and it got out of control. That should have been cleared up a long time ago.
I
Period.
see.
Point blank. If that's your friend. Kevin, I'm not fighting. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. Now everybody's fighting. And now you pop up because I'm mentioning your name. You should have popped up that same night on that live.
Oh, wait a minute. She in chat.
That's what they say.
Bring her up
So,
here because I want to
no,
ask her some
we gonna get
questions.
through. We gonna get through
Bring her up
everybody
here because
else.
this is crazy. Like,
No,
she
we
ain't popped up since all this mess been going on, and I was trying to be there for her, and she lying like this and creating all this confusion and chaos. What the hell?
we gonna do this like we normally do it. We not doing nothing different based on who's in the chat. We gonna do this like we would normally do it. We treat
Mm.
everybody the same around here. We ain't rushing regular panelists off for nobody. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do around here.
Mm.
So, like I said, Kiki and everybody else, nobody can push me off what I've seen or what I've heard. The only reason why I'm saying something because it's gone too far. You could have took a stand for Anthony. You could have took a stand for Melody, and you did. And people say, "Oh, she did say something. She said something too late, y'all. Go back and look when she said it." This happened July 15th, 16th. When did
Mhm.
she
Yeah,
say me and
it,
Melody are cool?
it's a long time. A
Thank you.
long time ago. A long time ago. But she hasn't said anything recently either. So that's at least
Hold on, you
unless I
don't owe
miss.
me nothing, but I'm on my channel hosting my conversation. I'm not asking you for nothing. So what are you talking about? I'm talking to you, Kiki. I ain't never asked you for nothing. I'm sharing my viewpoint. So
Mm.
you don't owe me nothing. I ain't remind me. Did I say Kiki? You owe me something?
Did the snake, did he record their call? Because he records
I don't get
everything.
that deep when people come to me. I don't know about all that. I didn't ask all that.
Well,
I
she
don't
better
ask
tell
all
the
that.
truth, because well, we got to go by what he does. He records
Okay.
people, so she come up
Okay.
here lying, he gonna play
All
it.
I know is
So.
I got a phone call. How about that? You don't owe
Oh
me
no, I
shit.
trust. I
Hold on,
believe
not
what
you,
you're
Simone.
saying.
You don't owe me nothing, but you owe it to yourself and your friend circle. So to keep
Hmm.
me out of it, I'm covering the shit. You owe it to your friend circle. Do better, Kiki. How about that? Do better. Stop getting caught up
Hmm.
in mess. You owe yourself that.
Mm,
Stand on that. Okay,
mm.
Simone, I'm sorry.
No, no. I'm just kind of. Mm, I'm just outdone right now. It's just the
Don't be
last few
outdone.
days.
Don't
It's
nobody
it's
wanna address it. Don't nobody
yeah.
wanna get close to it and I'll get uncomfortable all day if it's standing on what's right and what's wrong.
How's she gonna be lying, creating chaos where there is none? This is your
You
second
see, she
chance,
still ain't
girl,
said
and you up
Melody ain't
here.
did nothing to me in Houston.
The
She still ain't said
hell,
that. She's saying everything but that. Now,
exactly.
she ain't said Melody ain't did nothing to me to Houston, y'all. You in my chat. You can say it right now. For the record, you guys, I don't know what Anthony is talking about. Melody didn't do nothing to me in Houston. I dare you to do that. Clear the air now.
Yeah, clear.
You owe that to her. You owe that to your friendship.
Mm, mm.
Now,
Well, oh goodness, this is crazy. This
no,
is
it's
so
not crazy.
crazy.
This is people. This is what people do every day, all day. It's
Mm,
not crazy.
mm. Well, I mean, it's part of that whole spiritual warfare thing too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't stop being
It's
surprised, y'all, when
all
people
these
show you who they
serpents
are.
and snakes running around here. I mean, damn. I mean, what? I mean, what's the end game here? Why are you trying to create chaos where you don't have to have it? I mean, I understand the feelings with her family and all that stuff, but just because maybe something didn't go the way you wanted to, you're on the damn show, and you're gonna come back and tell that snake some lies so he can go run with it and do what he do. I mean, oh, it's just disgusting. Let me go on here, get off here, because I'm probably gonna
Somebody's
start
asking me, can I
cussing.
confirm it's the next day? No, I cannot confirm it's the next day. She never came out the next day and said Melody did not do anything to me in Houston that I know of. So I cannot confirm that on her behalf. I have not heard her say, I do not know what Anthony's talking about. Nothing happened between me and Melody the next day. Did y'all hear that? I'm not talking about no, oh, we cool. I did not hear her deny that anything happened to her in
Hmm.
Houston, that Melody, I have not. Have y'all heard it in the chat? Did y'all hear her say, nothing happened to me in Houston? Melody did not mistreat me. You don't have to wait and see anything because nothing happened. Sorry,
Mm.
Simone.
No, no. I'm trying to look at the chat. I can't see it as
All
much as
right.
I
Let me bring up
want to,
Hershey.
but
Let me bring up Hershey.
oh man.
All right, Hershey, welcome to the stage.
Hey, love.
Hey.
Oh, I ain't never heard you go off like this. So, like, it was like, oh my lord, she a little gangsta. But anyway, um, I I just want to ask one thing before I say anything. So, because I did hear, I think it was on an interview or something when Kiki did say that Mel didn't do anything to her. They cool, but it wasn't immediately. Like the rumor was going on for a minute. So I do agree with you on that. But she did say that. So what I want to ask is, so did she come out and say that and still was like talking behind her back, even though
I
she
didn't
was,
hear her say Melody didn't do anything to me in Houston. And if she did, that means Anthony Lopez is a liar.
yeah, yeah, because that's why I was
Hold
saying
on,
like
pause.
I heard.
I want to make sure everybody gets this. If Kiki's
Okay.
saying that Melody did not do anything to her in Houston, that would make Anthony Lopez a liar.
Mhm. Because I did hear her say that, and then I also saw in a chat because I was in a Facebook chat and she said Melody didn't do anything to her. So I don't, but then I was hearing that her mom was going around shopping the story and stuff like that. And I don't, look, I'm trying to deal with my own life. It's entertainment for me, but what I don't like because I do resonate with Mel. I like Mel. I support her. And she has been nothing but nice to me, even though I'm, just a fan of hers, but she has been nothing but nice to me. And what I can say is this, because it's spiritual. It is spiritual, because I even had to ask even certain content creators, what has she done to make y'all hate her so much? She has not been any more messy or any more nice nasty than anybody else on that show. So I'm trying to understand what has she actually done that makes her a narcissist, makes her bougie, makes her just dark soul. What has she done? And really nobody can even really say what she has done. But you see, this is what makes strange bedfellows, because I was rocking with Kiki. But then when they was asking her about Stormy, and she was like, "Oh, Stormy is nothing but nice. She's so sweet. She's so this. She's so that." Excuse me. Hold on, wait a minute. I had to backtrack a little bit, because I was like, I discern spirits very well, very well. Sometimes it's my downfall, because I overlook some of the things I feel, and then I be like, when stuff happens, I can't even get mad at the other person, because I be like, I knew you were gonna do that. I already knew it. But Stormy don't like Mel from a deep place. I mean, from a envious, jealous, stank place. She don't like Mel. And if Mel is your friend like that, how can you say Stormy is such a nice person when you know how Stormy feel about Mel, and allow her mother to come on the show to attack Mel? That don't resonate with me. And then when I saw that interview what she was doing with AL, and then Stormy just magically popped up, I'm like, this is some foolishness going on. And I don't know what kind of foolishness, but this is some foolishness coming on. So so now that you coming out with this, it's all making sense now. Like, okay, so is everybody just fighting for Melody's spot? Everybody is fighting
I
for
don't know. I
Melody's
think
spot.
they do, but
It
I'm
got
just
to
I'm
be
putting it out here.
everybody is fighting for her
Yeah,
spot, because they don't like her being the queen.
I don't know.
But
I
guess
listen. I don't want to like assess all of that. All I know is that there's some shit going on in the background that ain't right.
I know, yeah, and I understand. I'm not. This is not your thoughts. I'm just saying, in my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, and what I'm seeing, even spiritually. But what they need to understand, if this is the reason why they stuff don't work, and I'm talking from Martell to the Scots to Stormy, their mothers, everybody. This is why it don't work, because the Bible says, "Touch not my anointing, and do my prophets no harm." Y'all keep putting y'all mouth on this lady, and that's why y'all not prospering.
Yeah.
Y'all need to think about that.
Thank you,
After a while, you
Hershey.
gotta let it go. Cause I would get
Exactly.
tired of getting my behind whooped. Cause see, Melody ain't even lifting a finger. She's not lifting a finger. Because
I
if God
agree.
be for you, who can be against you? I'm talking to the demons out there now.
But
And
we
I
gotta
and I
wrap up, Queen. We got 2 minutes. I gotta go to the next one. I love you.
I'm sorry. I'm
You
sorry. I'm sorry.
good? No, you on a roll. I got you. I got you.
I'm
We
sorry.
gotta
But
get.
that's
They're pushing to get in here, so let me bring them up.
okay. I'm sorry, Quinn. I'll
No,
I'll,
you
I'll
good. It's
drop
all
down.
good. You're good.
Okay.
All right, honey. Look, you can recycle and come back, but I just got to get everybody in, y'all. Courtney Clark, welcome to the stage.
Thank you for having me, Queen. I just wanted to come up and say YouTube is something different. Watching the show, I really stopped watching the show for what I saw on YouTube and just start watching the show for what it is to get better entertainment out of it. But I come on YouTube, for the extra stuff, and you start to get used to people and the camaraderie. But just looking at the chat, I just want to say, people, you'll give information, just like with the Anthony thing yesterday. Mel made her stand. She was very clear that she didn't want anybody to come back to her with anything about Anthony, and that either, she's drawing a line. Either you're with Anthony or you're with her, but it's not in between. And people still went to his live coming back. Like I saw her in the chat earlier, and they were still telling, Anthony said this, Anthony did this what he said. She clearly said I don't want to hear anything else what he said, and either you with me or you're not. And people still do what they want to do. So it's just like you bringing this information. People have already made up in their mind who they like and who they're gonna ride for. I particularly, I like Kiki on the cast. I like Mel, but if I have to choose between Kiki and Mel, I'm choosing Mel. And when people, like I said, when you bring information and you're saying I'm privy to certain information just because I don't give y'all all of it, people are going to automatically be like, well, I like her. I don't think she said this. I think this. She, how do we know? How do we know? You can't, that's why you can't give people nothing, because they going whoever their emotions is tied to, like you said. And this is coming from a person that likes Kiki on screen. Whoever their emotions is tied to, that's who they're gonna make every excuse they can as to why this can't be. It's very clear. You showed the receipt where he called you. It's very clear. One thing Anthony does, first of all, he gonna keep, I don't really watch him, but he records conversations. I'm pretty sure he specifically said what she told him, or what was said, or whatever went on in their conversation. Just because you decide a couple of days later or after that you no longer have those ill feelings. So Anthony made it all up. That's
Thank
what
you.
people basically
Thank
saying.
you. And that's what I'm
Like
trying to
he
get
just
them
came
to
up with
think
this
through
story,
this.
made it all up for some.
Yes.
Like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. Come on, stop just saying because I like this person on screen. I still like her on screen, but let's call a spade a spade. If
Yes.
you called him in your moment of anger, just like we all be emotional about certain stuff, if you called him in your moment of anger, and you may have woken up the next day and said, "Dang, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know it was gonna go this far." But you have to speak those things. You can't just let it ride. And people y'all be so hungry for the next. Y'all be seeing all these titles and be so hungry for the next piece of information. But when somebody give it to you, it has to be everything. Like YouTube be too much. Like it be too much for me. Like everything has to be how what they say, when they do it. Let me go over here and check. Let me like either you're gonna receive the information or you're not. Somebody called Anthony and told him something in Houston.
Delois, I'm not making assumptions. I'm telling you what I know and what I see and what I heard and the conversations I've had.
That's what I said.
I'm not
It's
making
whoever
when
they like,
I'm
Queen.
sharing what can nobody refute. Like I said, I sat on mine for 5, 6 months. I ain't come out. Enough time to think through this, to look at it from all sides, to watch it all blow up, to watch it all blow up. So I ain't sitting on, I'm not, what is it? I'm not making no assumptions. I'm telling you what happened and what I experienced. Okay. That's it. Now you can take it for what it's worth. And I understand, we all say take what you need and the rest you don't need, discard it. But if I bring it up
And,
here, it's because this is facts. I know I had a
and I
conversation.
want to
I'm
make
not
my
telling
last
you.
point.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mel said on her live, if y'all go back to her live and pay attention, because a lot of times people pick and choose what they want to hear. If y'all go back to her live, she specifically said that she already knew where the information came from. She talked to the young lady. She knew what was going on. So who is the young lady? Who the young lady she talked to? That's all she can clear that up, but she talked to some
Gotcha.
young lady about what phone call was made to Anthony. She said it on her live. She didn't say a name, but she said it. But that's all. People just want information, but when you give it to them, I'm talking about it just depends on who they like and who they favorite. So I would just,
No, I
I
agree.
take stuff with a grain of salt.
Thank you for coming up and thank you for pointing that out. Just because a
Thank
person
you.
has a change of heart and says, you know what, let me, uh, it's out there. You still said it. It don't take away the fact that you said it and you made that call. Period. Point blank. You can't change that. And now it's out here on the blogs. It's out here on YouTube. Did nobody make up you calling somebody? You made a call, sweetheart. Allegedly. Okay, Cheryl Howard is up next. Cheryl, welcome.
Hi, Queen Sheba. How you doing, babe?
Good, good. How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good. You speak accuracy because I remember Miss Wanda doing a live the night of that shindig, the hold down or the pasture. She did a live and Kiki was there. She put Kiki on camera. I think the man that what's his name that looked like Grady from Sanford and Son. I forgot. I think her cousin, whoever he is. So Kiki was in the background and she put her on camera. So you're very accurate that she was there. So and I think she should have went to Melody and talked to Melody personally. That's what friends do. You don't go to the blogs, you don't go to a content creator, you go to your friend and sit down with her and say, listen, I feel a certain kind of way. Can we discuss it? I think that's what she should have done, you know. So that's really all I gotta say. And sometimes you just gotta watch who you friends with. You gotta, sometimes you gotta watch who your real friends are and who they're not, you know. Because
Yeah.
I definitely saw Miss Wanda when she went live that night, and she was showing all her family members. She showed Kiki, Maurice. She showed a lot of them on live that night, of the pasture party or whatever. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Thank you.
so it's sad. It's sad.
It is, but you know what? That's all we're talking about, and now we can deaden it. See,
Hmm.
once you know where all the pieces are on the chessboard, you say, "Oh, okay."
I really
Now it's
thought she was
now.
her friend, though. I thought she was.
Listen, don't get caught in your feelings. Just know where each player is on the chessboard. That's it. Once you know where all the pieces are and how they're stacked up, then you can look at this a little bit differently. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And this ain't it ain't about picking a long as you know, I need all information in order to decide how I'm going to move and how I look at things.
No, but
Now
right,
you got
right,
all information. I'm just giving y'all all information.
right. But
That's
right,
it.
right. She should have went to Melody before you go to anybody. That's your friend. Friends do that. Listen, sis, I don't like the way you did me or whatever, or I'm feeling a certain kind of way. She should have went to Melody. That's what friends do. She know how to reach out to Melody. She can
Yep.
reach Melody. So
Yep.
that's wrong. If she, that's wrong.
Well, thank you for coming up,
Okay.
Cheryl. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. I'm gonna drop down. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank
Come.
you.
Bye.
So Kevin says it makes sense why Mel moves the way she does. Listen, I think there's a realm that in our everyday life, you say, well, damn. But I think you get into this realm of whatever world that is with reality television, different levels of corporate, wherever you go, where it's a dog eat dog world, where it becomes a Shark Tank. And to us, we're completely blown away. Right. I used to be blown away by Love and Mary Tunstall to the point I was so in my feelings. And then I had to check myself and say, get out your feelings and start watching this thing. Start watching this thing from like just a different angle. Look at it from an angle, and I'm gonna go there. Look at it from an angle of black folks that ain't never had nothing, with the exception of one or two. They gonna do everything they can. They gonna do everything they can to win this game because they may never get this opportunity again. And unfortunately, when you place certain people in certain situations, they'll do anything to win. Now, there was a comment where CC she said this happened months ago. Right, it did. But here we are today, 6 months ago, girl, and it's still going. Do y'all listen when I talk? I said this has gotten completely out of control. It did happen months ago. It could have been dead. It could have been killed. You could have stopped it. But here we are today. Here we are today. The shit keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it should have been done away with months ago if it had been cleared up correctly. If you would have put a little energy on it to match the same energy when it came out, the emotion, it would have been done away with. See, you can't say some stuff behind the scenes and give it just a little bit. Oh, we cool. We ain't got no problems. You got to match that same energy to stop it before it grows legs. Prosperity Thick Girl, welcome to the stage.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Um, I have Kiki has said multiple times that her and Mel don't have a beef. I've interviewed her more than once, and she said it every time. She said Mel did nothing to her in Dallas or Houston, and she also said they rode the plane back from Houston together.
they did ride the plane back together. That still didn't stop her from making that phone call.
What phone call?
I told y'all.
I
I mean,
missed
I
that
keep
part.
saying it over and over. I put it out at the beginning. I showed y'all the day I got the call.
Well, I do. You asked, did has she ever said that? Did she ever did it that her and Mel didn't get into it in Houston? And I've heard her say that on her lives, and she said it in 2 interviews with me that she and Mel are not beefing. Mel did not do anything to her.
Why did she make that phone call and give him that impression?
Like I said, I missed that part of your other thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah, you
I
might wanna
came in.
rewind it. You
Yeah, I
might wanna
came in
rewind that
when you
part.
was asking the questions,
Yeah,
and I was in the chat saying she did, she did, she
I
said it
got
multiple times.
you coming up on the part that you picked up on. Okay.
Yes, and I'm coming back thicker to be in the DMs with
And
you.
Relly says, "Can we hear the call?" No, I don't record people. That's one I don't violate people like that. I don't do that. I don't record people. I don't do that kind of stuff to people. I don't ever record. If you ever have a conversation, I'm not recording you. I don't do that, really. Unfortunately, there's content creators that do. I'm not one of them ever. And I talk to a lot of people, and that's why my sources are solid. And when I tell you solid, because I'm not going to violate anybody. Period. Point blank. You get what I'm saying?
So you heard the call?
Prosperity.
No, I'm
Jump down.
asking because I know he do
I
it. I
told you
know.
Anthony called me. Y'all got to do your homework, y'all, before you got to go back and listen to the beginning.
I'm still here, Queen. I'm sorry I forgot to hit the thing.
Oh,
But let me ask you something.
like what's that?
So wait a minute. So basically she planted the seed with the snake and knowing that what he would do, what he does.
Uppity up next.
So so at this point, yeah, she could come out and say they're good, but in effect, possibly that's not true because we heard what Mel said. She talked to this young lady. She had a talk with two young ladies. At least that's the way she put it. So her running back in her emotion, whatever happened, or whatever way she felt slighted or whatnot, she ran back to the snake, and he comes back with what asking that question that's just been heard all over the internet. So at this point, it safe to say she's just faking it at this point, just playing along, just playing nice, but basically her and Storm are on the same page with Mel. Is that's what I'm picking up. That I mean that nice nasty shit. Because if you go to a snake, we all know he's a snake, okay? You dealing with a snake and you give that snake that information. What do you think is going to happen? And maybe some of the things we've heard, because I don't go to everyone's channel. I can't. I ain't got enough time. But from what I've understand is all this happened is something she felt slighted, and he wrote it out as if Mel did something horribly wrong to a quote unquote friend possibly.
But I
So
gotta go to the next person though,
okay,
y'all.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Up
I'm
next is
sorry.
Okay, thank
This is
you.
just
couple
irritating to me,
ladies.
man.
Okay, Uppity, you're up
Okay.
next. The ladies are gonna drop down. Let me go to Uppity. Ladies, go ahead and drop down, and I'll bring up the next person. All right, Uppity, you are up next. Welcome, Queen.
Hey, Queen, can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. What an interesting thing. So, here's what I'm going to say. If you are missing details, maybe go back to the beginning, but when you come up here and you're misinformed, you start to make it look like Queen said or did what she did not do or say. So, that's number 1. Number 2, what I want to say about the situation is this. Here's what I think went wrong, and this is just my opinion. Oh, and for those who are asking, well, did you record the phone call? Did you do this? That's not Queen's style, and it shouldn't be yours either. She said earlier Anthony called her on Instagram and that she has text messages and screenshots that she didn't want to expose because other people
But
would
not
then
from
be
Anthony.
exposed. So there's
Let me. The text messages and screenshots were outside of Anthony's call. That's not from Anthony. That's not from Anthony.
There we
That's
go.
that's from other people, right? That don't even know I talked to Anthony. That's sending this information about Kiki and her mother. But go ahead.
Right. And so Queen is protecting their privacy. So hopefully you guys know when you're asking in the chat, do you have this? Do you have that? It's about integrity and whether or not she's willing to share that. Now, as far as the actual situation goes, here's what I think. Anthony got up there crying and boo-hooing. Oh, would y'all hold Mel accountable if she did something wrong? And then Kiki came out. I don't know if it was the very next day, but it was soon after. And she had a live stream. And she was like, y'all, me and Melody is cool. I don't know why anybody thinks me and Melody have a problem. We just rode back on the plane together. Yada, yada, we're cool. But you see, Kiki was live with her mother, Constance. And then Anthony hit the link. So Kiki said about that much, just that much, before Anthony got up there talking and cussing at the audience. And Constance was, oh, that's my nephew. I love you. That's family and this and this. And we lost the message. It was usurped and swallowed by Anthony getting up there and being messy. And when the message got swallowed, Kiki never reiterated her point. So we didn't really, so it wasn't like, how do I say this? She made the retraction, but because it wasn't the type of powerful retraction you would do with a friend, we were left wanting. Because here's what it looks like: you're saying this thing is not true, but then the person who said this thing was true is on your live with you, yucking it up with your mom. And here's what I think that I cannot prove. Kiki said that she used to talk about the show until she got told not to talk about the show, as in contractually, don't talk about the show. And I think that is where Constance picked up and started shopping these stories around with Anthony Lofties and Aunt Anne and whoever else would listen, trying to choose a blogger to back Kiki up somehow. I think she did some work on her own that is basically blood on Kiki's hands. So what Kiki, I think, should have done as a friend is, if you see that this thing, she tried to clear it up, but when the rumor kept going, because everybody is still waiting on what Mel did to somebody in Houston. Everybody's still waiting on that. So if you know that everybody is still waiting on that and still talking about that, and you watch some of us, right? You've watched some of my stuff, some of Queen stuff, some of Diana Rose, some of the Gossip Girls, right? So when you know that everybody's still saying this, you come back out and say, no, that's my friend. And I'm not going to let you use me to slander her. And that is what Kiki failed to do, in my personal opinion. And that's all I got for you, Queen.
Thank you. You just summed it up, and I thank you so much because I don't have time to sit and keep going because people come in and they enter at different places in the what is it called, the live stream. So if you
Yeah.
just me up, you guys rewind it, catch up, and then fast forward. We got a little bit of echo uppity on yours, but no, thank you so much for coming up, Queen.
All right. I love to be here. And I'm a palace guard. I will snipe you if I read any kind of tone into how you're talking to the queen, just so you know. If you got timed out, it was probably me. I'm out of here. Bye.
Snipe on. Olivia, welcome to the stage. What are your thoughts?
Hi, Queen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, Queen, Queen, Queen. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was her. I knew it from the beginning. When a lot of stuff was being said, when they brought up them tapes, why everybody recording everybody? I don't get that messy part. But I knew it was her. I knew it was her. And when she came out saying that she goes to different content creators and giving them different stories to see which one will put that out or put something out. Nah, I said that's bogus. Kiki did something. And I had a strong feeling it was her. And she wasn't going to come out and say nothing because I felt like she knew that he was going to expose that tape he has. He records people. And I felt like something was going on and it was going to be exposed. And I remember it was the plot that they said that they really wouldn't say who it was. Excuse me. But I can remember the plot saying that it was a plot behind the scenes to take down Melody. And I'm like, okay, so, hmm. And all of a sudden, him and Kiki, Betsy, she all on his live. I say, yeah. If it's my mom always said, if it smell like, you know what, it is 9 times 10. That's what it is. So I just want to say thank you for revealing it and bringing it to the forth.
And you're welcome. And let me say this, I revealed it. I don't have no problems with dead and some like I sat on it for 6 months. I could have kept sitting on it and let the shit go and go and go. Now we all know. Now you know. Now it's dead because it ain't
Thank you.
nobody else to protect on the board. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Nobody else to
yes.
protect. Now we can go back. Now we can look at the show differently or however you want to look at it. But ain't nobody got to be scared and ain't nobody got to protect nobody no more.
Mm-mm. Well, Queen, you are like once again. I said on your life, you are the you are the shit,
Like
and
this
I
was
and I
a lot. But thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate you.
and I love how I just love your honesty and you not scared. You don't back down, and I love that about you.
You
And
have
you
to from the
continue.
truth. Not from the truth, you don't. It is what it is.
And I love your truth, regardless of what. I love it, and I appreciate your channel, and I appreciate you. And I'm gonna step down, and you have a blessed night and happy holidays.
All right. You too, Queen. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Christina, you're up. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, Queen. I really like your channel. Um,
Hey, honey, just turn up your volume just a little bit more. It's a little low.
oh, can you hear me?
A little bit louder.
Um, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's just low from me. Can y'all hear her? Give me a one in the chat. Now we got an echo. Drop down, Chris, real quick, and then come back up. Oh, they say come off. We got an echo, Chris. You're gonna have to leave out and then come back in.
Can you hear me now?
That's better. Yes. I'll go on mute while you talk.
Okay. I like your channel. I I don't watch the show anymore, but I have been keeping up because right now I can only watch you and another content creator. Everybody else, it's just too much for my mental. But I just want to say that um I knew Kiki was a snake when she came on there, went to Melody's party, and started telling her cousin all her business. Do I really like Tisha? No, but I'm just like, if she does that to family, what makes you think she's not going to do it to Melody? That is not blood related at all. And she is really, she's a very trifling person. And I know people like her because they think that her and Melody are cool, but I mean, Tiffany said it. Her character is off, and it's been off. And I just was peeping that um, from, you know, the clips that I've seen. And um, I stopped watching it after I saw Kiki did that with her cousin. So that's all I have to say. I do like your show, and I believe what you're saying. I mean, you don't have no reason to lie. You don't know these people like that. These are people on the TV show, but you can see when somebody is just grimy and they just want to take and take and take and just be up top by any means necessary. You will not, just like Nene said, you can never win when you play dirty. And that's all I have to say.
I agree. I agree. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
All right, the review hour. I'm going to bring you up and I'm here. I'm just going to mute myself while you talk. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, thank you, Queen. I just wanted to say one thing. I think that once Kiki made that call, which we've already been told that if anyone reveal anything about the show, they can be fired. So I think once she made that call out of her anger, then after that it was just too late. She couldn't come back the next day and say, hey, I was the one that called that content creator because I was angry. Because if she revealed that, they'll let her go. So I think that was all that she could say was Mel and I are good. Mel and I are friends. Because she could not say to the public, I made that call. Because that would have been her job. Now, those are my thoughts. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, thank you for sharing. And while you're up here, I want to address the comment that came through from Queen Wisdom. Let me pull it up real quick. For to my why you so mad? Cause I can be. Nothing. Cause I can be. Shit, I ain't no damn robot. I'm like everybody else when it comes to some of this drama because it's childish and I can be. And you caught me on the right day and I'm a little irritated. I have no reason to lie on anybody. I don't get paid for none of that. But anyway, she wants to know, Queen Sheba, you should have said something. How you know I didn't? You should have said something to Mel first. How you know I didn't? And why continue to talk to Anthony? I did. And I said that was the last conversation Anthony and I had after he was upset. So I'm not sure if you missed that in the beginning, but I said that was the last conversation we had. So I guess my question to you is how did you run with the narrative that I continued to talk to Anthony when I said that was the last conversation that we had after he was upset that day? You see what I'm saying? If we're not careful, you can get so far in your emotions that you tell yourself a story. You got to be very careful with that. That's very dangerous. Stick to the facts. Stick to what I'm putting out there. Stick to what I'm saying and not what you are hearing and making up. Very dangerous game to play with yourself because I was very clear. That was the last conversation we had. That's it. Let's go back to you to review hour.
Okay, well, you had to say what you had to say, but those are my thoughts. I think that Kiki made the call, like you said. The content creator, he called you. He was upset as well because of what she told him. So I'm thinking his emotions came from her, and he called you, and then it went as far as, and that's how you got your information. But like I said, I just can't see her coming out and admitting that to everyone that I made that call to him, because she couldn't admit it because her job would be in jeopardy.
Bingo.
and
I
i'm
agree.
and I'm going to drop down.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. Queen Wisdom came back and doubled down. She said, ain't none of y'all done things and argue and regret it later. Yeah, behind the scenes. I ain't never let nothing get ahead of me publicly. I made a mistake one time. Let me tell y'all something. I was covering the Shanquilla Robinson case, and I have been covering it and covering it and covering it. And the more you do something, the more you become comfortable with it because now it becomes a habit. So I was probably about 19 videos in. So now I'm comfortable with it. I'm confident in it doing it long enough where I haven't really made any mistakes. And as I decided to do something different on one of the videos. I was like, I'm tired of using the same old what is it called? Photos. Let me upgrade my photos. I called myself using a different photo of the Hyatt girl, Elise Hyatt. Okay. So I clip one of the photos from Google. I put it in my video. I go on about my business. I release it in the morning about 7 a.m. 9 a.m. I get tons and tons of emails and DMs. Very unusual for me. Like, I'm like, what the hell is going on? People were saying, how dare you accuse my cousin of murder? And I'm like, because she did in my head, or she's something. Come to find out, I used the wrong damn photo. I switched up my game. I had gone on Google. I had told myself I needed a different photo of Elise Hyatt, and I clipped one under her name. It wasn't Elise Hyatt. It was a different girl. They looked exactly the same. When I figured out what I had done, at first I panicked, and then I paused. And I said, wait a minute, you got to clean this shit up. I took the video offline and I went in and I clipped what they called out. They had timestamps. He was like, at this point, you said this, and that's not her. You used the wrong photo. Okay. And I clipped the photo out. I replaced it with the right photo. Then I went through the emails. Then I contacted the girl on Instagram. Well, first I hit her up. I replied to her email. I apologized. I went to her Instagram. I apologized. They kept coming at me. I said, well, shit, that ain't enough because they still mad. I made a public video and I issued a public apology on the behalf of the palace and myself, acknowledging my mistake, acknowledging the next steps and what she could expect to happen next. I said it was a mistake. It was a rookie mistake on my part. I apologized to her family. I apologized to her friends. And I told her, we were going to make it right. And by making it right, the only thing to do is I made the mistake publicly. So I needed to correct it publicly. And that's what I did by issuing a public apology, period, point blank. So when you ask, have any of y'all done things, argue and regret it later? And I cleaned that shit up too. And I cleaned it up. So it ain't about making mistakes. It's about how you handle your mistakes. Do you sit on your mistakes? Do you hold yourself accountable? We all make mistakes. But do you sit on it or do you stand up like a woman and you say that's not the case? Or like a man and say, that's not the case. I was too heated. I was too hot. And you call that thing out and let me nip it in the bud so all of y'all can know I made a mistake and I own it. Period, point blank. So yes, I have. And I owned it publicly. Justice, welcome to the stage.
Hi, Queen. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been in the bushes, typing a little bit, but mostly trying to get the gist of this because I hadn't heard nothing. I hadn't heard nothing, so I kind of got it together. And I just want to say this: I hear you, and you are absolutely right. I hear a lot of people saying things about Kiki, and they are right on the fact that she should have came forward and she should have stood up for her friend, even if she lied, even if she made a mistake, even if she spoke too soon. Yes, she should have. But I got to say this: we're dealing with a person who is emotionally not all there because she's fighting an opioid or whatever this drug is she's going through. I understand that. I'm not trying to make excuses for her, but I'm trying to reason what happened because what we're taking for a fact is words that came from AL's mouth. And what we know for a fact, AL is a liar. Don't have to be lying that she said it. She could have said it. But he took it and used it for his own good because his good is to destroy Melody. I don't believe Kiki has that ambition, but he does. So whatever she said, he used it. He used it for his own good. He used it, he manipulated, and she was the weak link. He used her for what he has set out to do a long time ago, whether he's connected with the snots or the storm or whatever. And I believe this wholeheartedly in my soul. He used Kiki and her anger or her mistake or her lie, whatever she did. He used it because she could have went out on her own platform and said, Melody did this to me and Melody did that to me. Or she could have had, anybody to say it. She got kinfolk, she got friends, she got family, real ones. But she vented to him. If she vented to him, she could have said, I felt like. Just because the way he presented it don't mean the way she presented it to him. We got to remember that whatever she did, we getting the information from a bona fide liar, a bona fide person who hates Melody. That's all I wanted to throw out there. So it could just leave a little room for she could have said this and that and the other, and he can take it and twist it and turn it and make it fit the way he wants to because he is smart at doing this. Melody just proved that yesterday. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you for coming up. We appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Jade, I see you in the back. I need you to flash that camera. I don't recognize the name. I need to know you're a real person. And then you can turn it off. Nobody can see you but me. I just need you to flash that camera on. Jade, I need to see a face, sweetie. I need to see a face. Jade, nobody can see you but me. Okay, Jade, drop down. Moonchild, welcome to the stage.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey there.
Um, so I just wanted, because I'm looking at the chat, scrolling up, and I see a lot of questions. And I just want people to understand this is the palace, but we are not sheep. Okay? So we move off of our own minds, and we are critical thinkers. Understand that even though what you're saying is more so surface and not digging into exactly what the text messages said or what the recordings that you heard on the surface, gather that Kiki was basically venting. But what she was saying about Mel is that Mel was taking money out of her pocket, because understand that screen time equals money. And that's all I want to say. This is about money. So basically, she was going around saying to Anthony or whatever bloggers that Mel did her dirty, basically saying that Mel was taking money out of her pocket. When we all know that Mel put her on that platform and held her up against her own family for her story to be told. So think about that. She's going around saying that Melody took money out of her pocket. That's not cool. That's all I want to say. I'm going to drop down.
No, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. And Jade, yeah, Jade dropped down. I guess you didn't want me to see your face. I have to know you. Y'all, if you come up and I don't know you and you're not a member and I've never engaged with you before, I will ask you to show me who you are. Because otherwise, I don't know who's behind that camera, right? And you have to do that to protect your platform. So Jade may not have felt comfortable with me knowing who they are by way of face, and that's fine. If you don't, nobody else can see you though. Just FYI, only I can see you, and then you can turn your camera off. But if you don't even want me to see you, I'm not comfortable allowing you to come up because me and you gotta have. I gotta know who I'm talking to because you know who you talking to. So this works both ways over here. Um, Love and Marriage Huntsville can be a lot. Don't let it be a lot. And the reason why I say it can be a lot is because you can find yourself getting in your emotions, look at it for what it is and dust yourself off. And I hope y'all have other shows that you can kind of balance it out with, shows that you can laugh and watch. It's a lot of mess associated with Love and Marriage Huntsville. But to me, in my opinion, when you have toxic people that haven't healed, that's in the process of healing, and you ain't really done your work, and you get an opportunity to utilize others as a buffer, and you get to focus on other people instead of doing that deep work, this is what you get. Also, when producers take a cast and you don't even it out and balance it out with a lot of healthy, if you got a rich person, you need more than one rich person, you need more than one business owner, you need this array, this diverse array of everything, so that it all balances itself out. Otherwise you get a hot ass mess, right? Which is what we're seeing. And then it comes down to the end. We've seen all of them. And then it comes down to the end, and you look at it, you say, I can't believe it. And because you can't believe it, you're willing to argue it to the end because of what you want somebody to be, as opposed to what's really happening in reality. I work and I operate in reality in spite of the way I feel, because I've got caught up in my feelings. And one thing about feelings can get you caught up. Feelings can have your ass making phone calls you shouldn't have made. And it comes to a blog. I have to check myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? Before I make a feelings decision. Feelings are temporary. They change. But once you say it, once you do it, you cannot take it back, which is why I tell y'all, stay out your feelings when it comes to the show. Stay out your feelings when you're looking at something, because now you're tied into what you want that to be as opposed to what it is. That don't make me right. That don't make you wrong, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? I'm just sharing with you all of the players that's on the chessboard. You know where everybody else is. You know where Letitia is on the chessboard. You know where Marceau is. You know where Melody is. Hell, you even know where Arion is. You know where we think we know where Carlos is. He shifted around a few times. You get what I'm saying? Even Carlos is leaning out of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you look at it, Carlos ain't talking shit about no Love and Marriage Huntsville. He's based on building his own brand outside of that. To me, that's a telltale sign as an executive producer, right? He's even focused on other stuff, and so should you, because it is what it is when it comes to this show. And I think he's created a heaven and a hell when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. It keeps the bills paid, it keeps the lights on, but at the same time, you really can't go in and clean it up because it's gotten too dirty. It's gotten a little bit too dirty. There's conversations that have been had, there's things that have been done. And when you turn a blind eye to things for so long, you're kind of guilty by association, right? Somebody say it ain't even no chessboard at this point. Oh, somebody said it ain't even no chessboard at this point. But after a while, you get emotionally involved and you want to see things for what you wanted to see. And then that's why some of y'all go so hard in the paint over stuff. It's all emotion. It's all emotion. And you push and you push and you push and you ask the same question 3 or 4 or 5 different times. But the answer is never going to change. I'm not backing off of the conversations that I've had. You can't change. You can support who you want to support, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't never came out. Hold on, give me 1 second. I've never come out and said, don't support this person, don't support that person. I ain't never did that. You can like who you like, but have some common sense about it. I'm just showing you where the pieces are on the chessboard. That's it. I'm dropping a link in the chat for anybody that would like to share any final thoughts or if you have any final questions. But after that, we're gonna close it out, y'all. We move into I said what I said Saturdays tomorrow morning, all things hot topics, a little bit lighter, a lot of fun. Miss Beverly did her thing last week, didn't she? When she called in, that was a lot of fun. So we will see you at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. That's what we doing. We shifting gears over here. We shifting gears over here. But yeah, and somebody said, "Well, show your text messages." I'm not doing that because that will implicate other people. I told you this is way bigger than that conversation. I don't know, like, if y'all coming in at the middle, and I'm not doing that because there's way more people involved in this, and I'm not gonna just expose people, that don't know that I have this information. Does that make sense? Hold on. Shirley, I see you. I'm about to bring you up.
I don't want to show my face. Okay, I'm up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, not my face. Hi, Queen.
Hey there.
Hi, Queen. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Aw, thank you.
I love you. You know, all these people coming in late and they're not really understanding what you're saying. Y'all don't come for the Queen, please.
It's okay if they do.
Oh,
It's
no,
alright.
it's not okay.
It's
But this
alright.
is what I want to say. From day one, I went in so many chats and said, Kiki was a snake. Everybody ate me up. Miss Wanda said it. Everybody said it. All she doing is proving it. Stormy set her up. She fell for the play and sold Mel out. She a snake in the sentence. She's a snake and will always be a snake. That's my final thought, Queen. I love you.
Alright. Alright, when we love you back. You have a good night, Miss Shirley.
You too. And don't y'all come for the Queen.
Girl, they gonna do that's okay though. People have their opinion. That's all right. Courtney said something. Courtney Clark says she didn't even expose Martell when he was on. Nah, I let no. I got it though. He knew I had it. I know I got it. That's it. Like he knew I had it. I know I had it. I know what I have. But y'all, I didn't even show y'all like the stuff that the receipts that I had regarding the Mel's management team. Because when you start to get into other people, you got to be very careful. Does that make sense? When it's bigger than just like what you're talking about, you gotta be very careful with that. And I don't have those people's permission to share their information, to share their communication. I don't know what the laws are in their states about sharing their private communication and their text messages, which they did not anticipate coming to me. So that's why I kind of chill with that. Denitra, I see you. I'm about to bring you up, sweetie. You ready? You don't have to turn on your camera. I'm about to bring you up. Well, welcome to the stage. All right.
All right. Can
Hey.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so I'm coming in late, so I really don't know what we're talking about. But I just came on here with my own, little 2 cents as it pertains to. I'm hoping I'm on the right track. If not, you'll let me know. As it pertains to, all this hoopla that's going on out here in these YouTube streets. It's unfortunate to see that something, as minute as entertainment and things like that can turn into and spew over into people's personal lives. Love and Marriage Huntsville is here for entertainment, and that's just what it is. In my opinion, it's just entertainment. So, for us, as viewers or some content creators, and again, I'm not pointing fingers or anything like that, to make it, such a mission, such a mission. Your personality, Queen Sheba, all the other content creators, they are just that, right? They're entertainers. This is what you guys do. So for us to push the narrative as if these people owe us their undue truth, I don't feel that I don't feel that it's warranted, and I don't feel that it's fair. It's entertainment. You take it for what it is. You take it for what it is. We need to have, in my opinion, the wherewithal enough to be able to take it with a grain of salt and to utilize it for entertainment and entertainment only. I enjoy listening to your shows. I love everything about, who you are, and it's not even, your opinion as it pertains to anything that's going on with reality TV, with the BS with content creators. It's just your position, the position that you take. And I respect you as such, and I wish that that would be the model that a lot of people would follow. No, not imitate, the queen. We all bow to the queen, but to take that position and to realize that, hey, everybody has a job to do. You, all the content creators, and even the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast, they're doing a job. Okay. And I don't know, like, who we as viewers think we are to say, hey, that's not your truth, or that's not this, or that's not that. Take it for what it is. We all have lives to live. And this is just a form of entertainment. And I feel like it's starting to, get out of hand. And I just can't see, you know, I'm having a hard time finding the relevance in it becoming such a big thing. Conflict, chaos, and opposition and things like that. I don't feel that it's, in my opinion, that it's that serious. I look at it as entertainment. I listen to you, I listen to other content creators, and I respect and enjoy the different perspectives. But when it becomes such, like a burden for people, or when it becomes such, an obstacle, I think that we should be able to draw the line and kind of pull back some, take a look at it, and live in our reality, because that's that's not, I know it's not my reality, but I enjoy it. It's entertainment.
All right, I
That's
agree.
all
Thank you,
I have. Thank
Denitra.
you.
I appreciate you coming
Thank
up,
you.
Queen. You have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.
All right, Journey, hang on, Journey to Jasmine. I'm gonna bring up Jade. Jade, I'll tell you flash your camera in the back. I appreciate it. Jade, I am going to bring you up. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for being patient. I just wasn't ready earlier.
No
But
problem. Thank you for
uh,
coming back.
thank you. I wanted to just share, I guess, my opinion or just some observations I've had as I've just been watching the show so far. One thing that's always come to mind is, just the purpose or what people's motive is behind, I guess, their storylines or whatever they're choosing to, present or portray. And like one thing that's always stood out to me, at least from my perspective, is just like, the love of money, and how like that can be like the root of a lot of evil. And for a lot of people, in my opinion, I think that their love of money or the potential of money and fame is driving them to do a lot of things that I think might be maybe not like moral, or just not things that they probably would have done before or otherwise. And with Kiki specifically, like one thing that I've always just kind of like thought about or wondered, about the current storyline this season is why would the show kind of open up like themselves to like the liability or the potential liability of lawsuits just based on some of the comments that have been said about like Kiki and her storyline. And it's kind of struck me by what has been kind of revealed tonight kind of makes me wonder if there's been kind of more thought or kind of more planning, I guess, behind the scenes to try to coordinate certain things to happen so that again, just for the love of money, that they would have, you know, for better or worse, like no matter what happens, that they would kind of end up with like a win. So again, it's just like my thought, like my opinion, but just something that just has been that just came to mind, I guess, a little bit more recently based on, I guess, what was just shared. So thank you for letting me share my thought.
No, you're very welcome. You're always welcome up. Now I know you, Jade, so we're good.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming up, and I'm glad you spun the block and got ready. So you're good to go, Queen. All right, so Jade is going to drop down. I am going to go to Journey to Jasmine. I see you, Tasha. You good to go? You can turn off your camera. Amber, can you flat? I need to know who you are, Amber. Um, by way of your camera. Journey to Jasmine, welcome to the stage. What's on your mind?
Yes, good evening. Good evening,
Hey
everyone.
there.
Um, so I just want to say first to the folks that apparently do not reside in the palace, some of which actually seem to be willfully obtuse this evening. Queen Sheba, she actually laid out the receipts at the very beginning of the call, or I'm talking about call, but the very beginning of the video. Not only that, of course she's not going to show the actual details of, like, why would she violate someone's privacy like that? The facts are there. She showed where he had called her. It lines up to when we all know, if you follow the show, when they were actually in Houston. All lines up. So if you're following from the beginning, you don't need to ask those questions. I mean, ask questions for clarity, but some people were being shady and they won't be here for a while. At least we won't see them because they're blocked. But anyway, second, mm, the fact is, Kiki actually had the ear of the people. People like Kiki. I mean, even on this live tonight, I've seen people type it. I've seen heard people say it time and time again. This was quite unnecessary, and as you stated, she really did act off of emotion. As it seems, I mean, my thing is that really that far fetched to think that Kiki acts off of emotion? I mean, she threw a drink in her cousin's face because she ignored her. Girl, bye. I mean, I know we all thought it was funny, like this and the third,
Come
like,
on now. You preaching.
like, but at the end of the day, if you just strip it all away, that was a very hot-headed and emotional reaction. So to think that she would do something like that, why is this far-fetched? She called him. She sought him out. Like, there was a particular lady that came up a little while ago, and she was saying, like, basically Anthony used Kiki, and I'm like, they used each other if you want to put it that way, but Kiki called Anthony, and then Anthony called you, and I'm sure other people, as we have found out. Anyway. If you've been watching, you've been watching. But yeah, like, I don't even really see how this is that far fetched. The receipts are there. What's the issue? I don't know about Kiki addressing this before. Apparently, people say she did. I don't be on everybody's lives like that, so I wouldn't know. But um, I do believe people who have said, such as yourself and I believe Uppity as well, who said that when it was addressed too late, and it was addressed in a way where it led room for, at the very least, questions, and I saw someone saying because when he was interviewing her mom and all that, I was like, that's not my jazz. I don't care about that. Um, but apparently, the mama was doing the most, as apparently all these mamas except for Miss Van do. Like you said, Queen Sheba, I'm gonna wrap it up. But like you said, there does need to be some type of more diverse, but more what's the word? Congruent or equally yoked cast. Because
Yeah,
when
just
you
a equal,
have
a level
this,
playing field, a level playing field.
yeah,
That's mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
because this dichotomy is not working.
yeah, it's but I think Carlos is checked out too, in my opinion. I think
Yeah,
he's
he has a new
checked out.
show in Atlanta.
That's just my opinion. Just watching him move and kind of building his brand in other areas, other arenas. He's trying, but
Hmm.
it's kind of like your bread and your. I think Love and Marriage Huntsville is his bread and butter, 9 to 5. Doesn't mean that he. I don't know if he's still passionate about it. I don't. I can't. I can't honestly say that from looking afar. I think he's trying to figure out his exit strategy. If I had to guess, I don't know that to be true, but just me from the outside looking at this from like a business standpoint, I'm like, oh, okay, he's slowly tipping out. If you had an employee and every time you walked in the office, instead of doing their work, they were working on other projects except what you hired them to do, wouldn't you thinking, okay, they don't plan on working on here longer. They're no longer excited about the work. They're no longer whatever it is. The morale seems to be low. The interest isn't there. Wouldn't you feel like their attention has shifted to something else or they're distracted by something else? And that's the feeling I'm getting from Carlos. But no, thanks for coming up, Jasmine.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, sweetie. Amber. Okay, Tasha says she can't hear. Yeah, you can drop down and come back. So Amber, you're up next. Welcome to the stage.
Hey y'all, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
My mom and aunt actually put me onto this show, and it's so funny. It's my aunt's birthday, and we were just talking about the live that went on with Anthony and Melody and all that. And my whole thing was, what happened in Houston? Because it's been alluded to so many times. So your video is actually coming right on time because we were literally talking about this earlier tonight. And my whole thing is after Kiki did the drink, I just feel like she's lucky to even still be on the show and be filming scenes. So this is all very like weird that this would even be a thing given the fact of how she is with the remaining cast members. And then on top of that, my question is, I saw that Stormy and Kiki have been kind of, have a relationship with Anthony, which I thought was weird. And Kiki has filmed just as many scenes with Melody as she has with Stormy. So if she was expecting anybody to talk to or have her back with her, wouldn't it have been Stormy? And what does Stormy think about this? Like, what has she said? Like, I find it really weird that Anthony would have had a problem, or Anthony and Kiki would have had a problem with whatever Mel did. What did Kiki do in that sense? Because she's been just as vocal for Kiki as Mel has. So why does it always fall on Melody to speak up and have somebody's back? Like, they never ask any of the other cast members to have that energy. It's always on Mel to be somebody's captain, save a cast member, and it's irritating. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to the forefront because I did notice that Stormy, basically when Anthony pulled up her as getting vouching for like, oh, Stormy wanted me to be at this party. I'm like, well, why would Stormy want Anthony to be at the party? Like, it just seems all very convenient, the relationships. And I just find it to be very odd. The whole triangle between the three of them versus Mel. So
No, thank you for sharing, Queen. I think this your first time out?
yeah, I think so.
Listen, I got a hell of a memory. I got a hell of a memory. I know, I just, but welcome. I wanted to say that welcome, and
Thank
you're
you.
always welcome. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for sharing, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And I said what I said Saturdays.
Absolutely.
10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will see you then.
Yes.
Um, I wanted to address a question. So Amber's gonna drop down. Um, Journey to a better you, sweetheart. We don't keep anybody off. You can't force people. Y'all keep saying let her up. Listen, everybody, the link is in the chat. You can't Y'all see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all be persistent on things that people don't want to do. And y'all got to be very careful with that as Love and Marriage Huntsville fans. Y'all keep saying, ain't nobody keeping nobody from coming up. Stop pressuring people. The link has been placed in the chat over and over. How do you think these people are coming up? They click the link. Y'all got to stop pressuring people to do things they don't want to do. The link is free. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Just be very careful of the pressure, not on me, that y'all be putting on other people. If people don't want to talk and have that conversation, maybe they're not in a headspace to do it right now. So chill sometimes. Let people do what they want to do when they want to. That's it. The link is the same. We're not stopping nobody from coming up here. So I don't want the reason why I'm calling out this comment, because I don't want anybody to misconstrue what you're saying and take that and run with it and create a false narrative that anybody was blocked from coming up, because that's not the case. So I have to clear that up. Nobody's being blocked. But with that being said, somebody else put another comment. Uh, there was another comment I wanted to address, but I can't find it. So let me do this really quick, and we're about to wrap things up. I appreciate all of you hanging in there with us. Real quick, I'm about to read these super chats, answer your questions, and then we're out of here in the next 2 minutes.
All right, Palace, the Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag.
That's a lot of money.
All right. We're reading our first super chat from Miss Sheree. I hope I'm saying it right. She said Kiki showed who she was at the reunion. I been gave her the stink face, and I know y'all peeped it too. All right, Sheree, we hear you loud and clear. Next up, we got, and Miss Sheree, thank you for that 10-piece honey. Why you lying? Came down and doubled down with a 5-piece. Says, to be honest, several people. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Several people have gotten physical on this cast. Martell, Stormy, Marcel. Why is Kiki different? Why is she being ostracized? Ostracized by who? Or being called out? Ostracized by who? Did we not call Stormy out? Did we not call Martell out? Did we not call Marcel out? The question is, why are people uncomfortable with Kiki being called out? But I don't know about being ostracized. Ostracized by who? All right. Andrea. But where are we? What did she say about Mel? That Mel did something bad against her. I told you about the vote. I told you about all of that. That Mel didn't stand up for her against her family. Mel didn't push hard enough. Mel turned on her. All of that. And that's not the truth. That's not the truth. She was very supportive of you. All right. Let's go. Confessions of a Reality Queen says, first time visitor. I like it here. Hashtag Kiki Wrong. Thank you and welcome. We hope to see you again tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Baby, bring a cup of coffee. Shay P down with the 5P. Shay says, is it safe to say Kiki, Stormy, and AL are all in one? Hold on. Are all in on the makeup artist and the barber story? Based on some of the conversations, I would say they're all privy to some information based on some of the conversations I've heard publicly on YouTube. Oh, Marine Mom says Mel was in the chat earlier and she alluded to Kiki not clearing it up correctly. Well, thank you for that call out, Queen. We appreciate it. Avis Ward, welcome, new member. We appreciate you. We will see you behind the wall. And y'all, for the members only, we will take a deeper dive behind the wall. I'm not gonna say when here out in the open, but y'all know what to do. You know where to go to keep an eye out, and we'll go a little bit deeper. Okay, like we always do. Y'all know how we do it. If I give you a taste of something, you know I'm serving up something else to satisfy your appetites. And Christine Lambert said, was Kiki alone or with hubby? Kiki was alone. Kiki was alone. Joyce Myers, thank you for the 10-piece. Joyce says, Queen, love you for real. I know I may not be present in class at all times, but trust and believe. When I can, Queen, I will. I always got you in your back. Love you bunches. And I love you too. I love you, Joyce. And I'll be missing you. For real, I'll be missing you when you don't come behind the wall. But we love you, Joyce, and we thank you and we appreciate you for showing up tonight. Marine Mom, double back with the 20-piece, y'all. That's coffee tomorrow. She says, Queen, you're standing on business. I am. And I said what I said. And tomorrow It's a brand new day. Christine Lambert with the super sticker. Thank you. We appreciate you. Nyla Harris Simmons, welcome as a new member. And with that being said, you all, wait a minute. Janice Walker came up with the 30 piece. Damn, Queen. Where you work at? I love it, baby. She says, enjoy the palace as usual. Get up. Hold on. Oh, she said, get you a bucket of chicken with a pepper, a two-piece and a pepper, extra spicy. Tanya Singleton, thank you, sweetheart, for the two-piece. I appreciate you. Yes, that's a croissant, a warm one. Tammy Fowler, welcome to the palace. Miss Tasha, welcome to the palace. And Lois Hardy, welcome to the palace. Palace members, I will see you this weekend behind the wall. We can take this conversation a little bit deeper. You know how I do. We're not here when we engage in warfare in the palace, we always leave people with a little bit of dignity. We're not here to strip anybody of their dignity, but we will lay down the facts and we'll talk about the rest behind the wall. And this ain't no money grab because I have one of the cheapest memberships ever. Mine is only $3.99, and I did not ask any of you to join. You see, I didn't say that. So this ain't me trying to get your money and nothing like this. This is what we've been doing for over a year now. We always take it deeper behind the wall so that those of you who are not comfortable speaking out in the open can have an opportunity to share your thoughts in a safe place. That's what we do. And that's what we will continue to do. Membership $3.99 or whatever it is. We've always done that. We create a safe place because everybody's not comfortable speaking in public. So we honor that. We honor the different communication styles here in the palace. I thank you all. I will see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, Paulette Scott. I've always only been a $3.99 girl, and you get a hell of a lot. You get a hell of a lot. Mimi, new member, welcome. And welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Yep, only $3.99. Janice Henderson, new member. I lost my thought. I was going to tell y'all something, but I know y'all are tired. Enjoy your Friday night. I will see you first thing in the morning. All right. See you then. God bless you all.